Hello everyone and happy Sunday. It is time for my mental health vlog. Um, if you can see, I'm having a pretty instant reaction to the Ozempic. I have extra skin here that I have a neck vagina, is what it looks like. So I have a little bit of extra skin, and I was not expecting any kind of weight loss from the medication, but I've already lost about 5 or 6 pounds. I will say that I am having a challenging time adjusting to the Ozempic. I get about 3 to 4 times a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. I get these like really strong waves of nausea, and as long as I just sit there and I just kind of close my eyes and I just kind of ride it out, I'm usually okay. Well, unfortunately, one of those happened while I was on a call this week with a coworker working out a problem, and in the middle of talking with her, I threw up on the phone because I couldn't focus on it like I needed to, and I was so embarrassed. I said, "I'm so sorry. Let me call you right back." And I did, and I told her what happened, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And she's like, "Well, I didn't hear anything, so you're okay." And I'm like, "Well, no." But then we talked a little bit about the different medication like her husband's on, where he had the same kind of issue. So I was grateful that she at least understood the fact that I had to go because I threw up on the phone while I was with her. Oh my god. I was very embarrassed and mortified, but I'm saying it here because I talk about everything here. So my appetite has greatly been impacted. When I do eat, I feel like it's more out of necessity than hunger. And the things that I eat, I had a friend of mine that's on this, make a comment about how it's got some kind of gluten or carb like craving blocker, which I don't fully understand yet because I'm still reading about it. But there's a kernel of truth in that, because I'm finding myself craving things that are heavier in protein, or the idea of eating something that's carbs or dry or whatever just doesn't sound appetizing. Like, I hate to say this, but like the idea of having a cookie, I love cookies, and I'll eat a cookie now and then, but it's like I'll have 2 versus 4 or 8 or 1 or 2 versus a package. So it's definitely impacted my appetite. I am also finding myself tired, and I think that's because I'm not eating enough, and therefore not eating enough protein, and therefore I'm tired and I'm a little scattered in the brain a little bit, and that's a dead pan sign, not a dead pan sign, but a dead giveaway sign that I'm not giving enough protein. So we put in a grocery order today that we're going to pick up on the way home from dropping off my son, and when I was adding food or snacks or whatever in there, I was having a hard time because the stuff I would normally go to like just didn't sound appetizing, like the chips or the crackers or the Cheez-Its or whatever. Just so I put some more fruit in there, and I'm hoping that will be something that I'll go for. And I got some cheese here, so I'm trying to I snacked with some cheese this week, and that's not something I normally do. So definitely finding a change in my appetite and the energy level that goes along with that. So it's an adjustment period. I have to think about what I'm eating. I have to make sure that it's very similar to what my fiance went through after he had his bariatric surgery, where he's like, okay, you're only going to be able to fit so much in your stomach or eat so much, whatever. Make sure you're eating the good stuff first. So definitely having to pay attention to that. So this is a little bit more than a medication to help with my A1C. It's actually changing some of my habits, which sucks sometimes, but it's a good thing. I also realized that all of my t-shirts that are not my Burley Bottom shirts are too big, and I wear those shirts when my son's around or I'm going somewhere where one of my designs may not be appropriate, because I am smart. And I do have some designs that are G-rated, like this is one of mine, and it's G-rated, so I felt comfortable wearing it to brunch with the grandparents today. But I am having to take a hard look at a lot of things I've had in my closet for many years that I'm getting rid of because they're just too big, and they were too big before because I was having a gradual weight loss, and I was really excited when I got into the 260s. But when I weighed myself this week, I'm like 254, 255. Which, by the way, I can't ever recall being in my adult life, and it's an adjustment, and I really can't afford a whole bunch of new clothes right now. So if you see me and I look a little baggy, just understand that I'm doing great things for my health, but I'm poor. So, I got some news this morning from a very dear friend of mine who manages the theater department at the school I used to go to. Just the fact that the school I used to go to has a theater department blows my mind. But she has a particular student who has decided on 3 different occasions to out another student. Because she felt she was being an advocate for those without a voice. So the friend of mine came to my fiance and I for some advice and what our thoughts were on this, and mine were not pleasant. So please, if you are watching this and you are not if you are not gay, lesbian, trans, if it is not your story, if it is not your journey, you are not helping someone by forcing them out of the closet. What you are doing is you're being a bully. And I told my friend that, I'm like, and I'm sure your school has policies on bullies. Let me tell you why. In high school, I was still figuring things out. I didn't know that I was gay until probably late into my sophomore year. I didn't come out until graduation. I didn't come out to everyone until graduation day, my senior year, which was 1997. And that June 1st, 1997, that was my coming out day. It was also my graduation day. There were rumors that had already started circulating around the school, and the school is a private Christian school. And now I want you to know, the school now is so different than it was when I was in school. However, students are just as nasty and just as evil as they always have been, if not worse. If you out someone and something happens to them because of that, beaten, murdered. Sounds dramatic? Read the news. It just happened. If you out someone and that happens, you're an accessory to that attack. That attack happened because you shared someone's journey that wasn't your job, that wasn't yours to tell. That is never, ever, ever okay. You are showing your privilege because you have nothing to be afraid of. If you out someone, you're safe. They're not. This country is not moving in the right direction for the past couple of years. And to hear things like this, especially on the same week that, was it Nax, I think is their name, the student that was just beaten by students in the bathroom at their school and killed. They are this generation's Matthew Shepard. So really not okay. It is not your journey. It is not your story. And please know that that journey is never an easy one. When you grow up different and you have to play a part and you have to be someone you're not, and you miss out on the chance to really grow and discover who you are, and then to have it taken from you while you are still figuring it out. When I was made fun of at school, there were multiple thoughts and attempts at suicide. I didn't want to go back to school. I ended up being so frustrated, I punched a locker and broke a finger. This one, which I thoroughly enjoyed showing to other kids in school, especially the ones that were part of the reason I punched the locker in the first place. There are some kids in high school that will never know the negative impact that they had on me. And I've been reached out by one of them to apologize. Only one. The other ones, I don't even think they think about me at all. And honestly, I don't think about them either. But I do think about how hard it was, how often I was bullied, and how people decided that my story was theirs to share when I wasn't ready to share it myself. So I hope that this individual, because she's very adamant that she's an advocate and she's doing the right thing. And I told my friend, I'm like, doing the wrong thing, even when you think it's the right thing, is still the wrong thing. So I implore you to be an advocate for the LGBTQ plus community. But that means listening, helping, supporting legislation, standing up when you hear something that's being said that's wrong or incorrect or hurtful or nasty. But never, ever outing someone. That is never your job. Soapbox moment, and I apologize, but that was it's really upsetting to hear today. And I didn't realize until just now how personal it felt. And I love that I have a friend who teaches there, who I used to go to school with, and she and I weren't really close until our last year or two of school. But since graduation, we have found this wonderful friendship and camaraderie. And I love that with her. And I love that she is in a position to be the type of person I needed and didn't have. So I am so grateful that she is there. And I'm excited to hear what happens tomorrow with the parent-teacher conference, because from what I understand, it's not going to be pleasant. And this little 14-year-old girl just needs to sit down and shut up and listen, because she's got a lot to learn. Thank you for that. Speaking of my designs, Burley Bottom Designs has turned 1 year old. I launched my shop last February with just a few naughty patches, and now it's blown into, I think I have over 800 different listings in my shop of clothing and accessories and home decor and gifts and the gambit. And I continue to have so much fun with it. And sales are picking up. It is still really slow, but I'm trying really hard. I know that there's a market for it, and I really do know that it's an awesome product. So I just keep staying the course, and you know, at one point, one of my designs is gonna go viral, and that will be all it takes. So, fingers crossed. We had my son this weekend, picked him up on Friday from school. He is grounded, so there were no electronics this weekend. We did go to a friend of mine was having a concert in someone's home, like a really intimate, like piano concert in someone's home last night. And it's someone that I love to death. I think they're an amazing person. Love hanging out with them, he and his husband both. And so he invited only like 20 or 25 or 30 people, so like 20 were there. It's very small. My son was one of them because we dragged him with us. And he sang music with he had an amazing pianist accompanist. And they sang music through the generation, or it was music through something, but it started like 1800s in the Baroque period, and then kind of moved into like Italian opera. Well, Italian opera is Baroque, but they kind of moved in through the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, and then you know, went into like 1900s musical theater, and then some more modern music in the 2000s. So he did a really, really great job. And the house that he was in, where he was being hosted by two friends of theirs, who are clearly very well-to-do as far as a gay couple goes, because it's a gorgeous house in the Woodlands, plus a pool. But the house was just stunning. And I only saw the first floor. I saw stairs. I know there's a second story, but I only saw the first floor. I only saw half the first floor. That's amazing. But it was a beautiful concert. very intimate, but it was a really nice concert. And then we rushed home, which took an hour and a half. Ooh, traffic sucked. I think it's because the rodeo started. And then my fiance had his online game last night, and my son, of course, has no electronics. So I honestly I spent 8 hours in my office yesterday, 4 hours in the afternoon and 4 hours in the evening working on patches because I'm inundated with orders. I complain about that because it's a huge time suck, and I hate spending time on the weekend and then the evenings working on it. But it's right now the money is nice, and as I said, I'm poor. I'll tell you why I'm poor. Because we just had to take out a huge 401k loan for window replacement and water damage that we found for the house. If you're keeping track, just less than a year ago, we had to drop a surprise $17,000 for the new air conditioner. So basically, I will retire when I'm 102. That's I think what we're looking at right now, maybe 103. This house is absolutely a money pit, and it makes me frustrated because my fiance is so frustrated and miserable, and I try and stay positive, but he's the one that's really doing all the work because he's super crafty and skilled at that kind of stuff. But we keep finding stuff, and it's just continues to be a very hard subject, and he's not happy here. I'm not happy here. We want to be happy here. We're going to be happy here. Right now we're not happy here, and we really don't have a choice but to stay and keep fixing what we find. So that is what we shall do, and try to stay as positive as we can about it, because even though these things suck and are so expensive, we are making the house our own. We're doing the things to make this our home, our house. So it will always be, well, not always be, but while we're here, we will continue to work to make it our house. You know, just in general, if you know of someone that has a secret, that's their secret to tell. Don't ever say anything about it. That's just not your place. I don't care what it is. That really just rubbed me the wrong way today. All right, I gotta get off here and help my son get his stuff packed up because we're heading to drop him off back at Daddy's, and that is another topic, actually. My ex and I are not seeing eye to eye exactly on when and how to discipline our son, and basically the text that I got this week was, well, if you're not doing it my way, we're not a unified front, there's no point. And I argued, and I said, well, as long as we have the same end goal in mind, we are in a unified front. We just approach our goals very differently. So he wants to have a long conversation with me this week, like in person, just he and I, one-on-one for at least an hour. Sure, that for him basically to tell me all the things that he thinks I'm doing wrong. And I don't like conflict with him. He knows how to push my buttons. He knows how to say certain things. He knows how to control and manipulate. And he does it without thinking about it sometimes. It's just kind of his character. And I have to make sure that I'm not the same person hearing it now as I was then, or whatever he was trying to convince me of then, because I don't have to. I don't have to agree with him. I don't have to do what he says. We share my son. We can share the responsibilities, and we can also share the discipline how we see fit. So I don't know exactly how that conversation is going to go or what else is being discussed, because he said there are multiple topics, but it is absolutely something I'm not looking forward to. He wanted to do it tonight, and I have something, my fiance and I have something that we're doing after drop off, and I'm like, I don't want to be in a bad mood for that. So today is not the day for that to happen, because I know I'm going to be in a bad mood when I'm done. So proper planning on my part. That's a lot to unpack for one weekend. So thank you all for listening. I hope you have had a wonderful weekend. I can't believe March is this Friday. I can't believe I'm turning 45 in 2 weeks. That terrifies me. I mean, it doesn't. I just don't know how I feel about it yet. Like, I'm not sure I want a big party or to be the big center of attention, or I don't know what I want yet this year. I don't know yet how I'm feeling, which is frustrating for my fiance because I know he's the one that's trying to plan everything. So, all right, guys, I love you all, and check on your friends, make sure they're doing okay. You have no idea what kind of challenges that they're facing, and it's great when they can reach out to you for advice on a situation that they're dealing with. I was really honored that she reached out to us. Very frustrated with the information, but very honored that she reached out to us for information. Check on your family, make sure they're doing okay. My sister is having a 1-year anniversary party in April for the survival of her accident from last year that she and her husband, my brother-in-law, had on the motorcycle. And we were able to scrap up enough points to be able to fly back in April to see my sister for that party. Celebration of life while you're still alive. So she's very, very excited about that for us being there, and I'm excited to be there too and see all my family. Check on yourself. What do you need? I have thoroughly been evaluating every little feeling and nuance that I have felt over the last 2 weeks. I do that when I'm adjusting to a new medication. So, especially when you're adjusting to a new medication, listen to your body. It's trying to tell you stuff, and if you ignore it, you will not be happy, and you'll throw up in a trash can while you're on the phone with a coworker. All right, guys. I will talk with you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening to all my drama. Bye, guys.